Hello everyone, hello all students of Harvard FinTech course. My name is Eric Freitas and today I'm going to present the topic number one, problem number one, the road to US digital dollar. So in order to navigate the US digital dollar, I would like to present a plan of action for a next bank, which is a leading Brazilian FinTech, in order for the bank to adapt the potential implementation of a US central bank digital currency, which is CBDC. This plan is going to leverage X-Bank's existing strengths, its experience with Brazil's CBDC, which is DRAX, and the unique challenges and opportunities presented by the US digital dollar. This is structured to ensure X-Banks remain competitive, compliant, and innovative in a rapidly evolving financial landscape. First of all, let's understand the digital dollar. By definition, the digital dollar is a digital form of US fiat currency issued by the Federal Reserve and designed for retail and wholesale use. This is a global trend. 134 countries exploring CBDCs right now. For example, Brazil DRAX is in pilot phase since 2023. The key features for digital dollar is instant payments, financial inclusion, and potential to reduce transactional costs. I think that this digital dollar could reshape global finance, impact X-Bank's operations in Latin America. Let's talk about the customer impact. Customers can benefit from enhanced services and financial inclusion. Today, our customer base is around 93 million people, living majority in Brazil and Mexico. If we have this payment efficiency, we can have faster transactions and can improve customer satisfaction. Let's remember that we can have the financial inclusion, which is 45 million people in Brazil are unbanked and 4.5% of US domestic market are unbanked as well. Let's talk about X-Bank's customer expectations, how the digital dollar can affect X-Bank's ecosystem. First, we have the opportunity to integrate CBDC for payments, compared with stable coins like USDC, for example. We have the risk of disintermediation if Federal Reserve bypasses banks or fintechs. We have increased competition from US fintechs leveraging CBDC, and we have pressure to adopt interoperable systems like PIX digital dollar payments to X-Banks to adapt. First, we have the cross-border efficiency. Let's remember that 30% of Latin American remittances originate from the US, and with this digital dollar, we could cut fees around 6 to 8% and delays around 1 to 3 days for a regular wire. Second, we have the financial inclusion. We can serve unbanked and underbanked with these low-cost CBDC wallets, aligning with X-Bank's mission. Third, we have the competitive edge. Customers at the end prefer fintechs integrating instant payments like PIX in Brazil, that we have a very good success, 86% of adoption in Brazil. And last, if the trust and security, if Fed's baking the CBDC, it's going to be appealing to the risk-averse users against the volatile crypto market. Let's focus on the plan of action in terms of regulatory and market implications. First, we need to create a cross-functional team, a CBDC task force, including compliance, technology, product, and strategy experts to monitor US CBDC developments, leveraging X-Bank's experience with Brazilian DRAX. Then, we need to partner with legal and compliance firms in the US to understand the Federal Reserve's CBDC framework, including interoperability, privacy, and intermediary roles. And then we need to access how a digital dollar could affect X-Bank's operations in Brazil, Mexico, and Colombia, particularly in foreign exchange markets and remittance flows. And at the end, we need to conduct studies to evaluate US consumer and business adoption of a digital dollar, focusing on X-Bank's target demographics, that is, underbanked or tech-safe millennials. Let's analyze the enhancing technological infrastructure that we need to develop. First, we need to adapt X-Bank's existing integration with Brazil's DRAX, which is built on a Hyperledger Bezo platform to support digital dollar protocols, focusing on blockchain-based smart contracts and tokenized assets. Then we need to build APIs to connect with US CBDC wallets or intermediaries, ensuring seamless transactions for cross-border payments and remittances. Then we need to enhance encryption, privacy, and anti-fraud measures to meet US CBDC security standards, drawing on Xbank's AI-driven fraud detection capabilities. And then we need to test the interoperability, test digital dollar transactions in a sandbox environment, collaborating with US FinTechs or payment providers like Visa or MasterCard, as done with Drex Pilot. With the adoption of a US digital dollar, we can expand our product offerings. For example, we can offer digital dollar wallets within Xbank's app for US-based and US-linked customers, enabling low-cost remittances and payments. We can develop features, for example, for instant low-fee conversions between digital dollar, Brazilian real via Drex, and other Latin American currencies. We can expand Xbank's cryptocurrency offerings, for example, in Bitcoin and Ethereum, to include tokenized assets in digital dollars such as US government securities or real estate. And we can use Xbank's AI-driven credit assessment, like NewScore, to offer loans or credit cards tied to digital dollar accounts, targeting US Latin American diaspora. In our business plan, we need to educate customers. We need to drive awareness and trust in digital dollar services among Xbank's customer base. We need to use Xbank's app and blog to educate users on the benefit of a digital dollar, such as a lower remittance costs and faster cross-border payments, drawing on Brazil's Pix success. We need to market digital dollar services to Latin America immigrants in the US, emphasizing financial inclusion and ease of use. We need to offer fee waivers or cashback on digital dollar transactions, similar to Xbank's Recomeço debt renegotiation program. And we need to enhance Xbank's AI assistant to guide users on digital dollar usage, mirroring its credit card tips feature. Let's talk about risks and compliance of this business plan. We need to address regulatory, competitive, and operational risks. We need to continuously track US CBDC policies, ensuring compliance with money laundering, AML, and know your customer KYC requirements. We need to differentiate Xbank's offering from US traditional banks and neobanks by emphasizing low fees, user experience, and Latin American connectivity. We need to simulate scenarios where digital dollar adoption can disrupt Xbank's revenue streams, for example, reduce credit card usage and adjust business models accordingly. And we need to align with US CBDC privacy standards, building on Xbank's Drex Pilot experience to address data security concerns. Let's see the roadmap for digital dollar integration. On 225, we need to research and advocacy. We need to join Digital Dollar Project to shape CBDC policy, and we need to pilot CBDC interoperability with Pix and Drex. On 2026, we need to develop infrastructure. We need to build a CBDC compatible wallet and API leveraging Xbank's tech stack, and we need to partner with Central Bank of Brazil for cross-border Pix digital dollar trials. On 2028, we need to do the customer rollout. We need to launch digital dollar wallets for remittances and payments, and we need to educate users on CBDC benefits via app and campaigns. On 2028, we need to scale and optimize. We need to expand to Mexico, Colombia, integrating with local RTP system, and we need to use AI for fraud detection and compliance. In relation to the SWOT analysis of this business plan, we can mention on the strengths, Xbank has 93 million customers and a strong tech expertise. On the weaknesses, limited US market presence leading to high compliance costs. Opportunities, Xbanks can capture the remittance and innovative fintech market. And the threats, US competition itself and privacy backlash. Risks, costs, and benefits evaluating the plan. Risks, regulatory uncertainty, US CBDC needs congressional approval, privacy concerns could deter 20% of users, and disintermediation if Fed bypasses fintechs. The cost for that, $20 million for technology and product development, wallets, payment features, credit products, and compliance from 2025 until 2028, and $5 million annual maintenance. The education campaigns if Fed bypasses fintechs are included on that amount. The benefits for that, 15% revenue growth from remittances by 2028, 10 million new users, and strengthened São Paulo hub leadership. So benefits can outweigh risks with strategic execution. So let's talk about the conclusion of this plan. Why this plan works. First, market demand. 65% of Brazilians projected to use digital payments by 2025. CBDC aligns with this trend. Competitive advantage. Early adoption positions X-Bank ahead of US fintechs and banks. Regulatory alignment. Central Bank of Brazil DREX and PIX experience support cross-border CBDC integration and customer trust. X-Bank's 90% satisfaction rate based on 2024 ensures early adoption of secure CBDC wallets. Proactively adapting to a US digital dollar, X-Bank can strengthen its position as a global fintech leader. This plan leverages X-Bank's technological expertise, regional dominance, and customer-centric model to capitalize on CBDC opportunities while mitigating risks. Early investment in infrastructure, partnerships, and education will position X-Banks to capture significant market share in digital dollar-related services, particularly in the cross-border payments and financial inclusion. Thank you for your attention, and I look forward to your feedback on the road to a digital dollar. Have a good day.